Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. First, I want to say thank you to everyone that has liked my first episode, or if you have subscribed to me on YouTube, or if you listen to me on Spotify. I am so grateful for the outpour of positive vibes for my podcast. I am really excited that I am now doing episode 2. And this will drop on Friday, which is the 15th. And by the time this drop, we will have our NFL schedules. Yay. um, I also want to say, I hope all my mothers, mothers who are, maybe you're not a mother, but you are mother form, stepmother, auntie, grandmother, any of those as a mom, you're there for someone. I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend, whatever you did. I definitely did enjoy my Mother's Day. I just relaxed, cooked a little bit, and just enjoyed the time at home. I wanted to reflect on this podcast episode. I wanted to focus on what May represents. So May is known as Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to take the time to kind of reflect on what we should be doing with our mental health, or how do we handle things with our mental health. There's so many things that we can do to help with our mental health. And I hope that everyone is taking the time to do that. I think this has been especially a topic since the pandemic, which was in 2020. So 6 years ago, we went through something very tragic, that was something to the world that affected the whole world. And I think since then, we have been trying to find a way to get our heads in a better place. I know for myself, since the pandemic, there's definitely been a lot of hardships, a lot of ups and downs. And I think we need to make sure that we are okay when we're going through those type of situations. How do we handle them? How are we making a difference for ourselves or for someone that's close to us, a family member, a friend, someone that might be going through something, a coworker? Any of those things can affect our mental health. For me personally, I know that I have been through some things, and some things I might share here, and some things that are in the past. But I know for me, the last couple of years, my mental health has definitely been tested. And that happens. It could be a bad day. It could be a bad month. It could be a bad week. It could be, trust me, a bad year. And those things happen to all of us. No one is outside of what can happen to anyone. No one is kind of, I would say, not discriminated against when it comes to things that can happen. Anything can happen to anyone at any time. So how do we handle those situations? What do we do? Do you talk to a therapist? Do you talk to a friend? Do you talk to a family member? Who do you talk to when you're going through something? Not to get too religious, but for me, I know that I definitely talk to my God, my Lord and Savior. That helps me out a lot. And I definitely have people that I talk to, close family or friends. And sometimes you just kind of have to talk it out to yourself. A lot of people are more involved with therapy, and that's very important if you need to see a therapist. And sometimes that will help. And I will say that I think it's great that we are in that direction of going to see a therapist, because I know, especially in the Black community, it can be kind of hush hush when it comes to if we're talking to somebody about our problems within the household, with outside the household. Sometimes it's looked at as gossip. Sometimes it's looked at as, why you sharing household business? And I think we need to get out of that situation, only to a certain degree, when it comes to something that can affect your livelihood or affect your family or affect your friend. I think we just need to make sure that we're understanding what should be shared and what I guess should be left inside the home. But if you see something wrong, if you see something going on that's out of the norm, I think we should be allowed to take the time and focus on that. For me, as I mentioned, my mental being tested, it could be health reasons. It can be job reasons. It could be any of those things that can test your mental. Sometimes it's pros and cons with that. The pros can be, okay, I need to do something better to get this situation in a better place, or I need to kind of fall back on some things to get into a better place. So those can be the pros and cons of our mental that can help us. As they say, you should always check on your strong friends, your strong family members. I've always been told that I am a strong person, but at the same time, where do the strong people, who do they turn to when they're going through something? What do they do? As for me, as I stated, I do turn to God. I do turn to reading I read my Bible app more than I read my actual Bible. So I do read my Bible app every day. There's a verse there. Sometimes the verse hits home. Sometimes it's just there for you to read. But I do take the time to do that and reflect. Sometimes you meditate. Meditation can work. Sometimes you're doing an exercise, whether you're exercising for yourself just to keep healthy, or you're just going for a long walk, or if you're trying to get better with your body. All those things can help you, and it can help your mental as well. Whether you're taking on a new hobby, or you're taking on a new training program, or you're learning something new, that can definitely help with your mental. Having an HR background, a lot of people don't know, or they don't take the time to look at it. Everyone has benefits at their job. Your employer gives you benefits. Being someone who has done new hire orientations for new employees, the benefits that we look at the most are the ones that we have to pay for, come out of our pocket for. Sometimes we kind of overlook the free benefits that an employer might offer. And I think it's very important to know those free benefits. If you don't know them, definitely look at your benefits information with your employer. But one benefit that has been added to a lot of employers' benefits package is the Employee Assistance Program, or EAP. This is something that I think has definitely been shown more with employers since the pandemic. And what the EAP does is that it allows employees to get help for themselves and their immediate family members within their household. And it's something that's personal, and it's something that also gives me work-related challenges. And so you can look on there, you can get the free toll-free number. Most of the time it comes with a toll-free number or website link. But again, it's something you have to look through your employer to find out if you have it or what is exactly underneath it with your employer. They have 24/7 online services. You can talk to a therapist, or you can help with finances. And most of the time it's a nonprofit situation that they can connect you to, but it's always confidential. And I feel like every employee needs to be aware of an EAP program. And again, I'm not saying that every employer offers it, but majority of the time you will find that your employer does have this benefit. And some employees are not aware of it, or they just overlooked it. So that's something that can definitely help with your mental. I think also, if you are seeking a therapist, make sure you look and see if something is covered under your insurance. Nowadays, some insurance definitely covers maybe a portion of therapy fees, or they might have therapists under their network that you can look into. So definitely look into that, because everyone kind of will not look into a therapist. Oh, it's too expensive. I can't afford that. It's not my budget. But you should definitely, again, look and see if there is something that's covered through your insurance. You never know. but it doesn't hurt to ask, or it doesn't hurt to investigate that situation. Something that I like to do also is I like to journal. So I know as a child, girls, we used to have our diaries. Dear diary, we talk about our day at school or our friends. And I think a journal is a form of that. As an adult, you kind of journal, you write. But for me, journaling is important because I like to write things down. I might sometimes do it on my phone under the notepad section, or I keep a journal by my bed where I can write things down if I think about it. And sometimes it just be a goal. It could be a goal for the day, a goal for the week, or it could be a future goal that you want to achieve. And I think that is something very important because we can't remember everything. Oh, let me write this down so I can remember. Oh, let me write a book down that I want to read. Let me write a recipe that I want to try. So I think it's very important to write those things down. It doesn't mean that you're losing your memory. It doesn't mean that you're doing something bad. It just means that you want to go back and read something that you want to achieve down the line. I write down my 30-day goals. I write down 90-day goals. I write down goals for the year. I write down goals for the next 5 years. And I think that's very important because you look back and say, oh, hey, I did accomplish this. Oh, yes, let me find out how I can accomplish this. What do I need to do to accomplish this? I think that's very important to take those steps, especially if you're going into a new direction of something. Maybe you're taking on a new job assignment. Maybe you're looking to change careers. Maybe you're looking to improve something in your home or improve something in your wardrobe. It could be anything that you want to remember you want to do. Oh, let me add more colors to my wardrobe. Oh, I need to get an all-white outfit for this all-white event. Let me write that down so I can know to go shopping for it. Any of those things can be something that just slips your mind, and it does not hurt to write it down. I am big on using my Google Calendar. I use my calendar for everything. I used to write things down before we had smartphones. I used to write it down on a calendar at work. Coming from administrative and HR background, we write everything down. So I used to always write things down, but I like to make sure that I remember certain things. Oh, constant bills, you want to kind of remember if you bills you want to pay. I'm not adult enough to use auto pay, but I will write down on my Google Calendar, oh yes, I got to pay this bill on the 15th. Oh, I got to pay that bill on the 20th. I like to put those on my calendar so they pop up as a reminder once a month. I write down events. If I have an event that I'm going to, I like to put it on my calendar so I won't overlap my time. Because sometimes you have to say no. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong with saying maybe. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I will not make it this time, but I will try the next time. There's nothing wrong with that. No one should talk to you in a negative manner because you're saying no. No one should talk behind your back in a negative manner because you're saying no, or that you cannot make it. Some things you just cannot make, or you have a scheduling conflict that will not allow you to do it. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have things, we're all very busy that we're trying to do, and we cannot be everywhere all the time. And that's why I think a calendar is very important because, again, it can help with your mental because you cannot remember everything. It can help you kind of balance out what you're doing for the week. Because at the end of the day, we need our time to rest, our time to reset, our time to reflect on what we did that week or what we need to do for the next week. I try not to do too much on my Sundays unless it's an event that I said I will go to in advance. But most of the time on my Sundays, I am home because I want to get ready for the week. I like to be home. I might cook dinner, catch up on some shows that I recorded, catch up on some reading. Any of those things matter. Now, I don't mind going to events after work sometimes, but if I can't, I can't. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with saying, I cannot make it this time. I'm too tired. I'm not available. because you should not overlap yourself. You should not overwork yourself. You should not overwhelm yourself with certain things. And that is okay, because it can affect your mental. It can affect you down the line. We should not be getting too stressed over certain things that we just cannot take the time to do. Sometimes you have to cut back on some things. If you're doing too much or too much on your plate, we need to learn to ask for help. Now, I can say that I am one that did not always ask for help. I always felt that I could do everything. I always felt like I was Superwoman. I did not need any help. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, why not take the help sometimes? Why not allow someone else to take some of the burden off of you, especially if you know they can do it, especially if you know that they're there for you and they're not trying to be there in a negative way. Sometimes, yes, it's okay. Yes, can you help me with this? Yes, can you please help me lift this box? Can you please help me cook this meal? Can you please help me take so-and-so to the store? Can you run me to the store? What would you do if your car breaks down? What would you do if you hurt yourself and you cannot walk for a little while? Do you have someone that can help you? So it's okay to say yes for those situations, and it's okay to say no for things that you know where you're just doing too much. We have to take care of ourselves for the long run. We have to do things that would benefit us down the line. I always say, working in HR, if you're overworking yourself, and let's say that company goes belly up, God forbid, or let's say your position gets taken away, or let's say, unfortunately, you get terminated, do you know that your position is posted within a week or 2 weeks' time that you are gone? These companies do not care how much you put into them. They only care about what you're doing while you're there. So if you're doing a lot and then something happens where you're not there anymore, they have no problem posting your position right away, because guess what? They need someone else to do their job. They need someone else to do their job. And if they feel that you are not the one that could do it, they would definitely take the time to get rid of you and find someone else. That's how it works, because it's a business. So if you're putting your all into something and you feel like it's not receiving to you, maybe you do have to look somewhere else for another job. Maybe you do have to kind of fall back on some things, because your employer would do the same thing to you. Because at the end of the day, again, we have to take care of ourselves and our mental and our family and what is best for them and for you. We cannot assume that everything's going to be okay, because someone can smile in your face and behind your back, it'd be a different story. And that is why I just feel like you always got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. And I know that I am definitely one that needs to also listen to my words, because again, I have had times where I did not do that. I would push and push and push. And then at the end of the day, I just feel like I was doing too much, and it can affect you tremendously. It can. So journaling, therapy, talking to someone, writing things down. If you're into reading a Bible or whatever, whoever you talk to in a higher power that can help you. If you have a family member or friend that you talk to, or a close coworker that you trust, those are all things that can help you with your mental. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having those outlets to get you through the day, the week, the month, or the year. There has been some tough times for us all, and you never know when a tough time might come. So it's always best to make sure that you are finding ways to handle those situations, finding ways to take care of yourself. Sometimes we got to take a deep breath and hold it, and we let it out. That can start your day, that can end your day. But just taking those deep breaths, holding it, and letting it out might even help you to get you through the next hour. And there's nothing wrong with that. Taking a breath, relax, and think about what your next move is. What is your next step to get through something that might have happened that did not fit well with you? Whether it was you or someone that you know, or something that is just in your head that you feel is not right. How do you get through it? We don't want it to be where you're just doing a negative thing all the time, or you're thinking negative all the time. What is the positive outlook on your situation? What is the pros? What are the cons of your situation? And how can you get through it? Again, I am someone that has been through some things, and I'm not going to say that days ahead we might not go through some things, but what are we doing to get through it? How are we coping? Who are we talking to? And I'm hoping that every day, not just the month of May, we can take the time to reflect on our mental health. We can take the time to look back and figure out things in a different way. Whether it's your relationship, your kids, your work, your friendships, your family members. What can you do to make things better? What can you do to help get you through the day? So I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode. Please subscribe to my YouTube page so you can know when I'm dropping another episode. Again, I will be dropping them every first and third Friday of the month. And again, maybe more during football season because it's going to come quick and I'm excited. Looking forward to it. Again, you guys make sure you're looking into your benefits at your job. Or if you're just looking into something, maybe read a book about mental health or reading a book that can help you get you through the day. There's nothing wrong with that. Checking out books, just reading a article, anything like that that can get you through. Those are all great. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode and looking forward to talking to you next time. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.